Hello. That was a little bit more magical than it normally is. Good afternoon. It's a switch up of the stream because I know some of you are better available in the afternoon versus the morning. So, welcome. We are here. It is 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That means it is either earlier or later, depending on where you are, or maybe even the same time if you're in a place like Colorado. So the stream is the first stream since the new year. So happy new year. Previously, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I had a wicked stomach bug about a week ago that I'm still not 100% over. It's caused all sorts of problems. Normally, they don't take me out quite this insanely, but it was hardcore. I don't want one of those again for a while. Not so much the back end problems. Thankfully not this time, but yeah, there's a lot of throwing up, and that's not my favorite thing. I don't think it's anybody's favorite thing. Hopefully that's not your favorite thing. But yeah, yuck. And I like sleeping, and it interrupted sleeping, and there was it was bad. So I'm still fairly nauseous-y, but it just seems to be a thing, and my energy level's kind of wonky. So there's been some funky bugs going around. Might have been somebody at our holiday party that brought a friend and didn't know at the time, and they shared. So that's how it works. It's the holidays. We share things. So yeah, that is fun. So some of the stuff that was anticipated and I was ahead of schedule in getting ready to get out is now behind, including the Medallion Club. But most of you have your tracking numbers at this point, with the exception of Canadians and internationals. Those come separately, and I have a couple more other boxes that are going out, but they are in the process of flying out the door, which is exciting. And we are headed into some warmer weather, which is also nice because we had some sketchy roads for a while there. The doggo is doing well. Nash is, as of the 5th, as of Tuesday, he'll have been here 3 months, which is exciting, and he's doing very well. He's starting to show his teenager, so he's acting out a little bit and trying to assert some dominance with more so Chris, my husband, than myself. He is very attached to me, but we're working on you don't have to be too sad when I leave. So we'll see how that goes. He's showing the German Shepherd in the being a one-person kind of dog. But he has the Mastiff, so hopefully that eases it a little bit. He's starting to, now that Chris has been home for the holidays, be a little bit more interactive with him as well, which is nice. So yeah, that is the thing. I'm going to check on chat because I see a few of you are there. Kimberly, hello, Happy New Year. Pam, hi, Happy New Year. So yeah, I've covered the New Year thing. I have lots to share with the Briar stuff. So I believe the last stream I showed you guys what was new for the 2025, and then we had them start to show off as of this last week some of the stuff that'll be available at Briarfest. So let me share my screen and show you that. So, can I make this one bigger? Let me just... Nope, messing with things. Alignment... Nope. I want to make one bigger, one smaller. It's like, no. Okay. I can make this full screen so you guys can actually see what we're doing for a second. So there are 4 stablemate event one-day models. There's one for each of the days, single event days, I guess. And we see a couple new molds, a new mold and then a twist on a mold. So they are called Break Out the Bubbles in honor of their 75th anniversary, which is this year. And they're doing a whole bunch of cool stuff for that, including a micro edition of the mule in the Premier Club Winifred in a dapple gray Tobiano. That is 75 pieces, which should be very valuable and has caused a whole bunch of stir and stuff because that's how the hobby works. But we have Bellini, which is the new, altered polo pony of the running thoroughbred G2 stablemate. I love that stablemate. One of my first ones was in a Leopard Appaloosa, and I loved the fact it had no forelock. I thought it was very cute, and they used it for a polo pony, which is perfect. It actually works really well. So that'll be super popular. They're calling it a polo pony variation of the thoroughbred mold. Originally sculpted by Kathleen Moody. I can't remember who did the edits on it or if they announced that, but that is a thing. Leopard Appaloosa, ready to start the party. Briar themed blue and gold tail. Very cute. I might need one of those. Then we have Mimosa, which is a Palomino Tobiano on the Mini Indian Pony by Chris Hess, which is a very nice color. That's such a soft Palomino. Then there's Cava, apparently another drink theme. I have no idea. I don't drink, so no idea. Cantering and Delusion mold in a really nice glossy bay. This is a really, really nice color on this particular model, which is nice and dapples. Then Prosecco, which is the Playful Draft Stallion mold. Is that what they called it? All right. Otherwise known as, starts with an A. My brain, Augustus. My brain requires more caffeine. I love this color too. Glossy black Appaloosa snowflake blanket. Very, very cute. I will probably need one. And unfortunately, it's in glossy, which means they are not going to be very easy to customize, but that's okay. We have the original Augustus for that, which will also make people mad because that is an endless fight with the hobby. Hacking the heads off things. Then let's see. It says this year's Briarfest VIP will be able to receive a complete 4-pack. Our in-person general admission or online admission ticket sales will receive one randomly selected one. Then it says, don't stay far. There's a special run coming tomorrow. So I am confused. All right. Let me unshare my screen for now. So yeah, those are all cool. I'm very excited. I'm a little confused at the drink theme. I kind of get the reference, but it's there's a lot of kids that come to Briarfest, so kind of, I don't know. Drinking isn't my thing, so that's the thing. I think they are still adorable. The color choices and mold choices are getting people very excited, and I'm very excited to add some to my collection. We have Robin. Hello, Robin. How are you? Then we have more stuff that they peaked. Here's some of their 2025 line. So I will make this big again so you guys can see. They have 3 different horses that have the Briar silhouette patterns, which are super cool. I think that's going to be kind of a fun collector's item going forward because it has obviously the molds up to this point. Not all of them because you can't keep all of them. And if you are sitting there wondering if I am still talking with my hands, even though the camera can't see me, I am. So just imagine me flailing with my hands as we're talking. So I just distracted myself because I was waving and I'm like, people can't see you. Anyway, you guys know me. So this is going to be really cool. I'm very excited to see a couple of these. They did the Clock Horse mold, which is also really cute. I've spied Fireheart on them a couple of times, which is... They're trying to suck me into buying stuff just by putting Fireheart on it. It's a bad thing. I really like the color on this one actually too. So I think that'll be very cool. Then we have the one that they did. Let's see if I can make this a little smaller and fit him fully in the screen. There we go. This is the Lonesome Glory mold. Also really like this color. I don't need all of the Briar pattern horses, do I? They're being very good this year about winning people's pocketbooks over between the micro runs and being able to choose between glossy and matte for the runs. I'll do a quick review, I guess, of the Premier collection too, because they did some stuff, I think, since we last chatted about it, which is exciting. This is the first year that they've revealed all of the molds and all of the colors, which is exciting. And I think that they're all production molds and runs, which means that those are the colors on that the Briar Factory has done. It's not the artist's copy. So that is also exciting because that means they're in production currently and they're ahead of the game. which means shipping might be earlier. Everybody rejoice. So then we saw this awesome horse. So this is Surfer's Riptide. Everyone's really excited about this. The Chincoteague ponies. We were looking for a Surfer Dude or a Riptide at some point, and we have a cute mold to do it on. Very, very excited about this one. Also very, very cute color on this particular mold. If you need it, you have to type it in the chat because I know I do. Then there's this one. So this is the ideal stock horse in buckskin. So the Orin Mixer line of art, covering all the different breeds and types of stock horses and their colors. They're very, very famous paintings if you haven't seen them before. And buckskin is always popular. It is very, very cute. We have the Cloud model, and that is a anniversary 30 years ago. Cloud was born, so they're doing an anniversary Cloud on Destado. Part of me sad it's not on the Fireheart, but I get it. One day I will do a custom of him on that mold because that would be the coolest thing for me. And we can't have Fireheart everywhere. People would start to be like, yeah, no, we don't want him anymore. And everybody needs a chance to do the cool things. And he's very cute on the rearing guy. So it is going to be very, very fun. I believe that some of the money goes back to the Cloud Foundation, and they will have a booth at Briarfest again. So you can go hang out with Ginger Catherines and chat about Cloud and learn more about him and his family and his legacy. And there's a new model for it. Even better. This is Big Lex on the Emerson mold. So made into a boy again from the Winx version that was a girl. A cute blue pony based after the Lexington horse originally, and it is the mascot of Lexington, Kentucky, where Briarfest is held. So very, very cool. So it says the blue tinted adaptation of the oil painting by Edward Troy of the real thoroughbred stallion Lexington. It is a symbol, or become a symbol of the city, and they're excited to bring the icon to the traditional lineup. Also would make a really cool souvenir if you've never been to Lexington, Kentucky for Briarfest before, or you have, and you just want a cool Big Lex to bring home. Then we have the Lady Phase. Wait, no, American Quarter Horse. My brain was like, that's almost a Lady Phase. The American Quarter Horse in a cool kind of silvery gold, platinum almost looking color with a whole bunch of brands from some of the big ranches in the, let's see, AQHA 85th anniversary Best Remuda model is what they're calling it. All the Quarter Horse Association wins for Best Remuda Award and how they impacted the quarter horse breed. It is a silver-like trophy decorated with the brands of the Best Remuda award-winning ranches. Oy, my goodness. I'll say hi to a couple people in chat because we have some new people. Hi, Twyla. How's it going? Krista, hi. Glenda, hi. Renee, hello. We might see something for mid-year. We'll see how it goes. Renee's saying maybe we'll see Fireheart pop up somewhere else. He is in the stablemate set for their anniversary. So that is, well, I can show that, I guess, in a little bit here, or they might have it down here. So this is the Longhorn, Texas Longhorn Bull. It's a super popular mold. We haven't seen any of the animals really pop up regular run for a long time. So that's exciting. Then we have this lovely, which we haven't seen in freaking forever. Bluegrass Bandit mold. Very uncommon to see it pop up in anywhere in the Briar line for unknown reasons. It is a Kathleen Moody Sommer Prosser collaboration sculpt. And this one's in a really cute color too. So it's the flagship called Ophelia. So I believe it is a mare. And they're calling it a beautiful done Tennessee walking horse mare. It will be available in person at flagship stores. So it's kind of limited to certain stores. Make sure your store will be getting it. Try and pre-order it if you can. Then Arachne is the greeny black tinted spider themed Halloween horse on the Bobby Joe mold. We went over that briefly last time I did a stream. It is glow in the dark too. Hi Hi, Tommy. How's it going? Glow in the Dark 2, which is really exciting, has a cool little blue eye and kind of a fun use for the mold. I'm not a spider person, so I'm going to hide. Then the Christmas horse they showed, which is on Flash, which we went over. I like the iridescent little saddle pad there and the little blossoms all over it. Is really, really cool. A lot of people really like this one. This is one of their favorites so far, they've said. So, all right, let's see if we go to this and it will show. So this was their last chance for the specialty clubs. The clubs are now closed. Deluxe Collector Club had the option of getting the semi-rearing stallion in the glossy, realistic black blanket Appaloosa color, and then one of the vintage colors as a bonus, I guess. And then that was their stablemate club lineup. Harbinger, the Pegasus, is the one that will be available as a optional purchase at the end, and then all the other ones are included in the club and mandatory purchases, including this is the Gambler's Choice. So it had a whole bunch of different colors in that, so they didn't include that in the picture, but there it is. Let's see. Let's see if it does this. So there's the micro run. So Winifred has the Dapple Gray micro run of 75 pieces. People are already looking for them for $1,000, $2,000. So if you get it, don't be sad. You can trade it or sell it and find a good home for it. It will be very, very popular. And then if you want a regular one, I'm sure you could trade for cash or however you want to work that out. Cosimo is matte or glossy, which is our topic for later today. Done with the Heather Puello dappling technique that they're using, which is kind of nice. It looks like they've gone over it and sprayed it to kind of keep those dapples under the coat, which is a really nice technique. It is a new mold by Sarah Mink, whereas the Winifred Mule was, or is, Laura Saylor Skillern, and her first traditional piece for them. So you get a choice between matte or glossy. This is totally drawn at random for the 75. And then Rowan is Kelly Seeley's addition to their traditional line, which would be her first piece in their traditional line for Briar, and painted by Tammy Pomerchuk of Canada. So that's exciting. And these are all their production pieces. So they're all actively being made into ponies, which is super cool. Getting ahead of the game is never going to hurt anybody and might make shipping and people happier. So that was there. The stablemate, I can't remember what the stablemate is offhand, and they don't have a list here. But yeah, so if you guys remind me what the stablemate was, I can't even remember. If maybe they didn't tell us. They might not have told us yet. So maybe I'm not missing anything. Maybe my brain's not that slow. So yeah, that's the cover of what Briar was doing for the Premier Clubs. Then for their other Briarfest stuff. We have True Gem. This is... I did this out of order, so I'm messing with myself. So the other one that I'll show you is only for VIP and all access, but this is a limited edition available to everybody. It is Bellissima Sapphire, a chestnut Arabian mare, eventing or endurance pony, and then done on a mold that we don't see very often too, which is the Just a Dream, which has a whole bunch of different options for mane and tail and head neck combinations for how that works. So it's kind of an interesting mold altogether, and it's kind of a cool color combination with this particular hair combo, which I think made a lot of people happy. So if you're looking for a body, it is limited edition, and you're probably going to be able to get one. If you would like to add it to your collection, because it makes it a little bit more unique compared to some of the other molds, because they do swap out so many different variations on it. Quite nice. Very cool. And done by Kathleen Moody. So that one will be a limited edition model available to all, which is exciting. Yeah, it is a great year for the Premier Club. I think people are very excited. I didn't end up joining any of the clubs this year. I was thinking about it. I was going to do the Stablemate Club. Then the deadline kind of came and I waffled. And yeah, the last time I still haven't gotten my Stablemate models for the end of the year because I'm Canadian. They ship them 3 in a box. And those 3 ended up costing like $60 American to ship here. I did add a couple of pins and an ornament. So because their cart's monetarily based, they have the values telling their shipping program what to charge, or well, their checkout program what to charge you for shipping. And that's a little bit rich for what I'm looking for. And I don't necessarily usually keep all of the stablemates. I'm not a huge collector in like keeping things around. I'm very specific. So I will probably just look for stuff on the secondary market. So yeah. Renee saying last year's Premier stablemate was leaked in the jaw. Okay. So we'll see what we end up with. I haven't seen anything yet. Elaine saying they haven't revealed the stablemate for the Premier Club. So we'll see what we end up with. It'll be kind of neat to see what surprises they have in store for this year, because I think they have a lot. I think that's the plan for their 75th. Renee says stablemate clubs are easy enough to pick up on the secondary market with overabundance. So yeah, I'm going to take my chances. We'll see how it goes. We're probably at some point going to run into the problem where people aren't maybe joining the clubs and waiting for it on the secondary market. Maybe there's not enough to sell on the secondary market. So yeah. And then things like the Winifred Mule, I think that makes the Premier Club more valuable too, which is good. Cool on Briar and giving the options between being able to pick Glossy or Matte for one for Cosimo, and then Rowan the main variations and I guess gender variations, because one's a boy, one's a girl. It's kind of fun. Makes it a little bit more exciting. So we'll see what ends up being the most popular too. I think that'll be kind of cool. This is the other in-person Briarfest horse. So it is Get This Party Started. Looks like we're doing musical themed names again. Let's see. Croy mold. It is a Sabino-y Overo pattern. Quite good looking on her with the blue eye. But it will be in-person VIP, all access only, it looks like. So we'll see what else they start to reveal. We should see more this week. Oh, I'll make this bigger for a second so you can see her a little better. And then I'll make it smaller. So yeah, we'll see what else they bring up. They should be doing more reveals, I'd imagine, this week going into the next little bit, because the lead up to selling tickets in February is coming up very soon. So yeah, that's a thing. Let's see. They did also put out their Briarfest guides, but they don't have any leaks of models. They're using the 2024 models in place of the 2025 models. I already took a peek. So we'll see. If you've never been before, there is it's a good review of kind of what goes on at Briarfest and how to get excited for it, and how to navigate the crazy event. And there's an online version as well, too, that kind of goes over stuff. So, yeah, that should be very fun to see over the next coming weeks and month. We are in January solidly now, 2025. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Yeah. And speaking of 2025, I have some mail that came in that's actually really funny. I'm going to show you my Paint Pony stickers because they're a little bit on the older side. These are the Halloween ones, because our mail system was foobarred and still is foobarred. We'll see what I end up getting over the next little bit. But that's the Paint Pony sticker zombie pony for October of 2024. So I'm excited to see all the stuff that comes out from Emma for 2025. So yeah, I enjoy sticker clubs. I haven't put stickers on anything. They're in a drawer, but the potential and happiness that I get when I receive them in the mail is worth the price, I think. But speaking of 2025, I did a Kickstarter campaign that I didn't do it. I backed it. that I saw pop up for a manga about a cute little unicorn that I loved these movies as a kid. I remember going to Blockbuster. I've dated myself for all the young ones watching. Going to Blockbuster and taking these movies out, and I thought I found some sort of hidden mystery gem because I'd never heard of this before. But if you haven't seen the movies, you need to. They are on YouTube, and they are wonderful. So Unico, I believe this was 2021 that I backed this project on Kickstarter, and it took a long time for them to get it filled. But it is beautiful, and I think it flips the Western way, but it is absolutely stunning, all the art. And it is about a little baby unicorn, and it is the most wholesome little moral-filled, wonderful, helpful little dude you'll ever meet. I'd seriously go look it up on YouTube because they are just cute. He's got a little buddy that he ends up finding that's a little devil guy, and it's just so cute. It's like heartwarming, you know, when you get that nice wholesome content that's just, you're like, oh, this feels good on the inside. When a lot of stuff nowadays is gore and death and murder, and I'm just so over it these days. It's just so heavy in an already heavy existence. So it's nice to see more of the superheroes and the cute little unicorn saving the freaking world. And he can kind of not necessarily evolve, but he does turn into a pegacorn when he experiences certain things. I won't ruin the show for you, but typical manga style. So I'm very excited that this is a thing. And there's a little kitty in it. There's a little kitty. And the kitty, the story for the kitty is adorable. But yeah, I haven't read any of it yet. I just got it in the mail. I am very excited because Unico just makes me warm and fuzzy on the inside. It did come with a pin. And it came with another comic done by a different artist. It's like 4 pages long. This was their I'm sorry that it was late comic. So not the same art style, not the same as the beautiful manga, but it is still cute. We still like it. So that's fun. I was very, I don't know. There's like a nostalgia component, and if you haven't seen Unico, you definitely need to. There's 2 different movies on YouTube that you can find, and it's lovely. I keep rewatching them like once a year, something like that. Just like you do with Spirit or The Last Unicorn or things like that, because it's good. It's good for the soul. I also got in this. This was the other pen that I was waiting for that was stuck in transit. It is sparkly, and yes, the light-colored blue turquoise-ness is glow-in-the-dark. And then the middle is purple. It is lovely. And then I wish I could show you the glow-in-the-darkness. I don't know if it will let me do it. Here, look at the thing. You can almost see it glowing in with the light there, but there's a little bit of it. Very, very cool. It is another Banu. I have a problem with the particularly sparkly pens. They did just make a version of this called the Daily Mate that's smaller and more affordable. It's actually almost $100 cheaper than this one. So yeah, yikes. But I did get all these used, which makes it a little bit easier on the pocketbook because that is a lot of moolahs to spend. But it makes me writing notes very, very happy. And they all sparkle like magics, which is a thing. And then I'd won this guy. It's a little tiny pocket pen that you undo and stick on the back to make a full pen. So you can put it in your pocket, but look, it's rainbow. So makes me happy. And this made me jump down a rabbit hole of anodizing and using electrical current inside of a fluid base to change the color of metal, because that is totally a thing. And the different frequencies give you different colors. And that is how you do this. If you've never seen that process, you should look it up because it is magic and it makes me want to dip everything in electrical current water because it's cool. Maybe, well, you couldn't do it with pewter horses, but you could probably do like unicorn horns and stuff, which would be very cool. So if there's anybody out there watching and wants a rabbit hole, that is the thing. So that is what I had for stuff that came in the mail. The pen that I won, the little rainbow guy, came with a cute little pen case that I can carry it in, which is more suited to one of my larger pens, but it is also quite nice. And it has a keychain on it, so you can just keep them safe and bring them along. What else do we got going on? Update on general stuff. Me being sick, my energy levels are better now than they were a week ago. It's gotten me behind in shipping some of the Bombas and the paid off tater orders that are coming in. Biddy Biter, Jen, and Tom Ulp were also sick at the same time. Yay, happy holidays. And they were also closed during the holidays. So I imagine because of them being a little bit sick, they might be a little bit behind in shipping stuff out, but I will touch base with them this week because this was supposed to be the week they're back and see if there's going to be any delays on any of the Biddy Biter orders, but there's only a couple of those that were sorting out. I just saw something from USPS saying they were not shipping through to Canada still as of just after Christmas. So I think that that's now cleared up, but I will have to double check because I think we have a couple Canadian orders shipping out as well. And yeah, because that wasn't a whole schmozzle. All right. I have some peeks of some stuff to show you guys. I will save the peaks of the Medallion Club stuff to the very, very end. And I might save a peek of something else till next stream. Because there's already a lot for this stream. And I did all the Briar stuff, and that took freaking a long time, apparently. So there is that. And I don't want to give away things too soon. There are changes coming to the Medallion Club. I'm making it easier to subscribe and unsubscribe from it by changing how it's going to work. There's some other changes that will be coming as well that I will be announcing soon. I know I've said something to that effect for a little while. I've been trying to put things off because pricing is going to change a little bit. All of my costs have gone up quite substantially, and I haven't raised the price in the club since I started it quite a few years ago. So as we know, things have gone up, but there's also some cool changes coming. So I'm excited to announce that, but I have a couple more details that I got to work out. I keep getting thrown some curveballs, so I do need to sort some of those out, and then I can make those announcements because they're cool. All right. On that note, let's talk about the glossy matte thing quickly first, because that is our topic for today, and then I will go into the club picks, and then I will let you guys continue on with your Sunday, because we're coming into a Chinook and it's going to be warm and lovely, but hopefully it is where you guys are. I know there's a big storm running through the States that's going to freeze people out and snow all over, and yeah, that's less fun, but hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully you're not in the line fire of that. I think it's DC's getting hit really hard, and I'm not sure where else. I haven't been paying too much attention. I've been getting boxes back. So glossy matte. It is a hot button topic, and Briar even a couple of years ago did a Team Glossy, Team Matte sticker magnet thing, which got people kind of riled up because it's usually you lean one way or another. It's usually not a little bit of both. Some people collect a little bit of both, but usually if there's an option, there's a preference, and a strong preference. So it's like the cilantro debate, where some people, it tastes like soap and they hate it, and some people want to put it on everything and roll in it until they smell of cilantro. And that last one's probably more me. So which one are you? Not necessarily for cilantro, but you're welcome to tell me that too. For it's so good in home fermented salsa. Oh, anyway. Sidetrack by the squirrel. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you are glossy or matte. I have some fun things coming for the stream where I'm going to be able to do live polling soon. So hopefully I'll have that up for the next stream, and that'll be very exciting. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you're glossy or matte. There is a scientific fact behind some people's preference for glossy over matte, because when you put a gloss sealer over something, and you'll have to forgive me because the only things I have in glossy and matte both are fire hearts. This guy is, I'm going to dust him off quick because I didn't do it yet. See, I'm probably not the only one that's like, hold on, let me show you this horse. I got to dust it first, or you got to dust it before you look at it. Custom glossy fire heart. It is not OF, but you can see how it makes the color pop comparatively to my original finished copy, who also needs to be dusted. Thankfully, they're easy to wash, because otherwise, could you imagine if they were all flockies? My goodness. Okay. Matte. Glossy. So you can see how it changes the color, and yes, there is variation between the models anyway, but when you add gloss to anything, what it does is it allows the surface to reflect more light, which can make the color look darker. In this case, the matte's actually darker, but that's because he had more dark shading to begin with. If I would have glossed this one, he would have turned out way darker than this guy. The matte does look more realistic and natural. So there's some people that prefer that look because it looks more like a real horse. And then there's some people that just want to lick this because the color makes it it accentuates what's going on there, but it definitely makes it look a little less realistic. And then some people like the glossy because it makes it more look like a China horse. So it's kind of up to your own personal preference. It seemed to have brought out the reds more so and the oranges in this guy. This guy's a little bit more dusty, browny toned. Here's the other side. And then for the pearl that's in the mane and tail, it definitely brings it out more in the glossy. So depending on what colors and paint you're using, gloss can actually make your effect look even more stunning. So something like a Pearlex and a color shift, an iridescent, a holographic, it's going to work way better in gloss than it's going to work on matte. It makes a big difference. Sometimes you can have a beautiful color going on a model when you're painting it. You hit it with your dull coat, and because dull coat is so dull, it actually takes all of that effect right out. Works for metallics as well. So it can take something that had a beautiful luster and really knock it back, because you're losing the ability for the light to bounce in and out and reflect back to your eyeball. So it's like laser games with the light in your eyes. So there's that. Let's see what else. I brought up some notes here. So it can enhance some of the depth and detail. So you can kind of see if we do, let's see. Here's his face. You can see how some of the details it makes look deeper. It's like your face is there, so I'm not going to focus. Come on, focus. If I hide my face. We're struggling today with the camera. And it also doesn't like the shine. So there's that. But it can make detail a little bit deeper. It can give you more kind of just depth, especially in a flat surface. So if you're looking for depth in hair, and there's some good shading, your gloss will actually make that look a little bit deeper. There's some really cool images that show kind of an illustration of how light would go through the gloss and then bounce back and be refracted, I believe is the right term for that, versus matte, which there's no reflection and amplification. You get more in a gloss than you do in a matte, but that can actually add not only to realism, but also to the effect of the color, depending on what you're doing. There's some colors you would never want to gloss just because it takes away from what they are. So with Cosmo, lots of people love the glossy. I'm usually a glossy person, but I actually like the detail and the color of the matte one, at least from photos so far. We haven't seen them in hand, obviously. In person is always different and better when you want to look for colors and detail and stuff. But it makes a big difference. I can show you Mojave as well. because that is the other one that I have that is glossy matte. I find gloss looks particularly stunning on base. It just brings out the color. So you can see the depth of this. It pops quite a bit, especially with the contrast of the big white markings on them. And it really makes the gold come out. I think he's just stunning in gloss. So there's that. And to compare that, and like even setting him down on my desk there, I can see the metallic flakes in the paint kind of reflecting way more than on this original finish guy. There's some metallics showing through in his shoulder, but this is the matte. Oh, it wants to focus on my face and then I can't see. So that's the matte for comparison. You can see how it's still really nicely shaded. It is a very pretty color. But it doesn't have the same punchy oomph as the gloss gives it. You can see the depth and the darkness really well on these two comparatively to the Fire Hearts because their colors were a little bit different to begin with. These were a little bit more comparable in color before they were before this one was glossed. So you can see how it changed the depth in the color. So some people prefer that. It really depends. And like I said, it depends on the colors that you're looking at. There are definitely colors that matte, like a soft Isabella Palomino is just, like you think of Nikki Button's work and how soft some of her Palominos and some of her colors can get. If you were to throw gloss over that, or Mariah's work, Mariah Vogue, you would end up with something that it wouldn't add necessarily. So it really depends. So which one? Glossy, matte, depends. For me, I generally prefer glossy. I love contrast and I love intensity. So it's kind of the natural choice for me. Whereas matte is also lovely. It has its place, but it will not quite have my heart the same. So we'll see. Let me know what you think, because I don't always know all the answers. And everybody has their love. And, you know, the people that complain that somebody doesn't like the same thing as them just means that there's more of it for you. If everybody loves glossies and you love mattes, then you get more awesome mattes. And if everybody loves mattes and you love glossies, then it all works out. That's why we have different preferences, so that we don't kill each other over the Rocky Road ice cream. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, it's really, I don't know, really neat to see how that changes things. It's particularly, if you're painting things, it's particularly easy to tell when you're putting Perlex on something and then you hit it with matte, because you just see it disappear. So it's interesting. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of glossies. I'm also seeing that Kentucky has 4 inches of snow. Oh, that's no fun. 9 inches, Kelsey. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of snow. We lost almost all of ours. There's a little bit around. We're going into a Chinook, which means it's going to warm up. And that's just because of the airflow over the mountains. And it's a lovely thing because then it's nice and you can ride again. Not that you can't ride when it's a little cold, but it's nicer to ride in the sun and with not as much snow around. So there's that. Robin says, I vote glossy. Pam, love both, but super love glossy. See, I like that answer. They're all awesome, but glossy is extra awesome. I agree. Renee, team glossy, usually. Twyla depends, mostly glossy. Some models matte. Yeah, depends on the color. Like I said, it can really not add and sometimes even take away depending on the color of the horse. I've seen some of the prize models that are glossed and it's like, yeah, it doesn't, it's more valuable because it's glossy and rare, but it didn't necessarily add to the model. And then I've seen ones that have gone the other way where it was like, oh, the gloss is gorgeous. And then somebody mattes it and it's like, that's not as good. So depends. And there's a reason why I custom glossed a Fireheart when I didn't have to custom gloss a Fireheart, because I wanted to see what he'd look like in glossy and it's pretty. So yeah. Kimberly, usually prefer matte because glossy is impossible to photograph. That is also another challenge with glossy. But some models do look amazing glossed. It's almost better to appreciate those in person. That's why Cosimo, I'm like, I think the matte I like better, but you never know. The glossy in person might be ridiculous. So I reserve 100% call on that because you never know. When you take a model and it has that much liquid goodness on the outside of it, it's like dripping in gloss, it is darn near impossible to take good photos of it. It's, yeah, not easy. I have a soft spot for China collectors that have to do it all the time, and it's very challenging to take photos of gloss because it hides things and then it doesn't hit an accent in the right places, or you move it and then it's reflecting in the wrong area and it makes the color look weird. Yeah, it's a whole thing in of itself. It seems like with a company like Stone that they tend more towards glossy because they give people the option, and it does bring out beautiful colors and it does accent things really cool. Whereas Breyer would lean more towards something like matte because it's more realistic. It is easier to customize. Glossy horses don't customize very well. And it's more realistic. And I think that's where they end up leaning, but they are dabbling more in the gloss end of things because I think they're realizing how popular it is because it does make some colors just look spectacular. So yeah, Zoya Glossy looks gorgeous. Robin, I do like the matte version of Cosimo better. Yeah, for whatever reason, like the gloss looks good, but the matte looks, it feels like you're losing the benefit of having him have all those dapples and that extra detailing, and it kind of loses the detailing in the face in the photos, which it doesn't obviously lose the details in the actual sculpture by putting gloss over it, but you see it better, at least in photos in the one. See? Hard to take photos. Tommy says glossy is the only one I need still. Oh, the glossy Mojave? He's, challenging. Glenda says matte, but I agree glossy has its place. And then especially if you're doing stuff like decorators, then give her, in my opinion. Well, so like a glossed Caves of Lascaux, the zebra model with the Caves of Lascaux horse cave paintings on him, probably wouldn't look as good glossed. The Pharaoh model on Sham with all of the hieroglyphics looks really good matte. So there's definitely a place even in the decorator world, but there's some decorators, you just gotta do all the gloss. Speaking of, shoot, where did that page go? Give me 1 second. Breyer had better pictures of their models here. 1 second. This thing's cool. All right. I forgot about this. Hang tight. I meant to show you guys this guy, or gal in this case. This is an example of a decorator that's glossed. It is like 3 layers of awesome. It is clearware. It is done up in a really cool pattern. It has an iridescent holographic looking, well, definitely holographic top coat, and then it's glossed. So I didn't know it had holographic on it until I looked later, but it has holographic. You can see it very distinctly here. The rainbow effect on the top. Yeah, that is holographic. So I am in trouble. That is their new, you can kind of see it there too, the holographic reflecting off that. Although it does look like it has it's got a crystal stuck to its forehead. Does look like it has, I don't know, that effect looks like it's going to be ridiculous. They might need to do a lot of stuff in clearware with holographic overtop in gloss because I hate their accessibility menu. Breyer, stop it. Okay. This is their radiance. It's supposed to look like a diamond because it's their diamond anniversary. I am slightly obsessed. Then their stablemates selection are all kind of metallics, and then you get holographic. I think it's holographic silver. I thought it might be the same clearware, but I don't think it is clearware because you would be able to see the box through it. But it is holographic, so there is that. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Morgan, hi Morgan, how's it going? Really busy today. Well, we are in the last portion of the stream. So I'm going to show you a peek, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that's coming in the boxes. So if you don't want peeks, have a wonderful weekend. Run away now. I don't want to spoil things for people who don't want to be spoiled, but I still love to spoil you all. So it's depending on your definition of spoiled. This box, I have to update the website for you guys for all the peaks, but you guys get to see it here first, so it's fine. The sticker is a holographic vinyl. Stay a while. It is a nice durable holographic as well, so you could stick this on your vehicle, and it's just a reminder of why we love ponies, because they are wild and free and magical and wonderful. It's like a little Araby, because yes. So there's that. In the boxes, I mentioned teasing something about a item that you could use for customizing or other things. It is just pretty and awesome, and I couldn't help myself because I have to spoil club members. Check these out. So they are, in a lot of cases, a clear resin with different colors of sparkles in them. There's like a red, pink, there is a purple, there is a pink to purple, there is a silver, there is a almost glow in the dark yellow, there is blue, there is a normal purple, that's a purple to pink. I think I showed you guys the pink. Lots of different options, gold. So these are very cool because they already come with a little eyelet if you want to use it as a necklace or an earring or a Christmas tree decoration on a baby miniature Christmas tree. But you can use these for customizing. They would make a really nice chunky drafty horn, or for babies. Let's put this guy. Just inset that a little bit into a baby's head because they are so thick. It just reminded me of a little baby unicorn horn. So you guys get these and you can do with them what you will, but they look like they'd be fun for customizing. On a little chunky something, they would be also really adorable. They're kind of classic-y sized. If you wanted a shorter, chunkier horn for a classic sized horse, you could go maybe to a venti, something like that. They look good on collectors and babies. That's cute. So cute. So yeah, hopefully you have fun with them. Hopefully you get the color you want. I thought it was extra fun. And oh yeah, here's another one. So there's like a teal to pink. But I think you guys will have fun. I couldn't resist it. And in the line of sparkly, wonderful things, it's kind of cool. Let's see. Morgan, I don't elect briars, so I really don't care about peaks. The peaks are for the Medallion Club, not for, well, I did show briar stuff, but let's see. Have a good one, Morgan. Breath says, used to be a strictly matte girl, but I've gone to the dark side. I love the glossies. I see that you corrected. I love when autocorrect is like, yeah, no, spelling out the window. We don't need spelling. It's crazy. So yeah, I will get to show you guys a peek of something now. Let me put it up on the screen. So I can't fully reveal the story of this piece, and I've kind of teased that there's a big story behind this piece because it'll ruin the peeking of it. So I'm going to show you a pretty significant peek, but I can't tell you the story behind it until the full reveal. So you guys get to see it first, and I think you're going to like it. Here we go. This is part of the new medallion. Obviously, it's an eyeball. And the emotions of the eye might tell a little bit about the story, maybe, possibly. I'm curious to see what your feel is on it. But this is all I'm going to show you for now. The peaks are incoming starting today. I will be posting them on the peaks page on the website. It is not currently up right now because I'm showing the first peak right now. So I will update that, get it posted publicly. Until then, you guys get to see it first. You are extra special because you stayed through the whole stream. And you're more than welcome to send people just the last snippet of this if you want to be like, oh my God, look at the thing. But remember that I try and keep these private in the sense of not sharing them 100% publicly, or at least directing people to the website, because some people don't want spoilers. And we try and respect it for a couple of weeks until boxes arrive, but they should start arriving fairly soon and we will go from there. But I really like the feel of this piece. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. It's something a little bit different, tells a little bit more of a story. And I think that that is going to be my theme for 2025, is a little bit more of a narrative storytelling experience to go along with what I'm up to. I think that that adds a lot to the art, tells you a little bit more about me as the artist, and I think people will really enjoy it. So yeah, we're getting guesses. The first feeling of the eye is old and wise, says Glenda, and Tommy goes, ooh. It makes me happy inside, this one. It just, there's a see, trying to tell you guys what it is without spoiling it. Yeah, I will reveal more later, but it's a fun one. It's one of my favorites, I think. And I think it's going to be fun for everybody to get. There's some extra stuff coming in the box. I am giving you obviously some fun stuff to play with, and your cool stickers as always, and goodies. There are coffee crisps in each of the boxes. But I'm also expanding the little note that I include. So you'll get a little bit more of something there from me as well. So on that note, I will let the peak disappear into, oops, I'm not peeking, am I? There we go. I will let the peak disappear into the abyss, and I will let you carry on with your Sunday. I greatly appreciate you joining me for these streams and hanging out, sharing my art. I love doing this. I love playing with the hobby. If you like me covering topics like the glossy mat thing, let me know. I want to do more stuff like that. I think it'll be fun to incorporate some hobby art horse topics into the streams. I know they can get a little lengthy depending on what Briar's doing and what I'm up to, but hopefully you guys have fun. And then my little side adventures with pens and cooking and all sorts of stuff. I just got a pasta press for my KitchenAid, and I'm making homemade pasta, and I learned that you can vacuum seal the dough to hydrate dough faster and more effectively. And so I'm on this wild adventure of, we're going to be making some pasta over the next couple weeks. I've made it before in the past. I've made homemade ravioli and stuff, and it's so good. But a pasta press is extra exciting because there's different shapes. And I found a press you can buy and adapt onto the KitchenAid that has little freaking dinosaurs. And yeah, let me just show you that. And it's a bronze die. Because I fell down a rabbit hole. I don't understand how people do this, because I can't not fall down a rabbit hole. I went and bought a pasta press used online, and it was a thing. So check this out. That makes little dinosaur shapes. I will make this bigger for posterity. Check it out. They are the little freaking dinosaurs. And so the press is, this is fascinating science. The actual cutout has little wedges in it so that the dough goes through split, because it has to, because you can't cut that out and have the inside pieces be a thing. And then wedges the dough back together using all of the pressure from the press and the extruding process. So then you get little freaking dinosaurs. So if you see me squealing or hear it from wherever you might live, I am happy making little tiny dinosaurs for dinner to fuel my pony art adventures. So yeah, that's the thing. I feel something chunky coming. Can you feel it or can you hear it? Do you see like the little water go boof, boof, boof? Yeah, so on that note, I thank you for tolerating me and loving me for all the weirdness that I am. It's part of what makes the hobby extra awesome. I enjoy doing the pony thing, but you guys also don't mind that I adventure and do cool stuff. So that is cool for me. So, right. On that note, I will carry on with my adventures, getting boxes out, getting shipping notices out, and catching up on emails because you know how that works. And I will see you guys next Sunday. In the meantime, do not feed the trolls. They do not require your sustenance. And we will see you next Sunday. I will probably switch back to a morning stream to accommodate the morning people. But if this works for you, let me know in the chat, and I will try and alternate every once in a while so that I can catch people that normally can't catch the stream. Alrighty. I love you guys. I will see you next time. More peaks incoming soon. Thank you for being awesome and wonderful, and I appreciate it.